Welcome to my channel. I'm going to change the clock spring on my Prado 120 series. The airbag light keeps coming on the dash, so it's time to change the clock spring. First, disconnect the battery. Wasp nest. Get that out of the way. I'm disconnecting the negative terminal because unless you touch the positive terminal, nothing will happen. Make sure everything's turned off as well. Tuck that down there a bit. Just get a rag and cover that up so there's no chance of it reconnecting, because that wants to jump back onto the battery. So I'll put that there, stop that happening. Now I'll let that sit for a little while to drain any power out of the system. The battery's been disconnected for about half an hour while I did an oil change on my Brumby. So I put my foot on the brake to drain the capacitors before taking the airbag off. On either side of the steering wheel, there's a little cap there. And another one just there. You need to take them off. So clip on the back side and a tag on the front side. Same with the other side. A clip on the back of it and a tag on the front of it. You need to get to that bolt there. And that bolt there. Now these bolts up in here are a Taunton T27. And they're out. Now the airbag should just come off. Now you've got your earth wire. It just unplugs. And you've got these two little clips to undo. Put the clips up like that. And they unplug. I'm going to put that in the back of the car, that way up. Now I'm going to unplug the plug at the top. 19mm socket. Before you pull the steering wheel off, make sure you're straight with all your trim and everything that's there. Feeding that yellow wire back through the hole. There's your clock spring right there. Now with the steering wheel out of the way, you can get to the 2 screws to get the plastic trim off. And there is also one just there underneath. That. And that. Now you've got 4 screws. To take off the clock spring. Also plugs underneath here. There's a little tab there to push on the black one. To get to the yellow clip, get a little flat bladed screwdriver, put it up underneath, and then it should just push off. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Just like that. Now the new clock spring. Put the plugs in. Line up the clips on the sides. So clip on the side there and a clip there. There are little spots in there, let's put them. And at the same time they line up with the screw holes. There's also some clips on the inner edge to line up with some spots on the inner of the back plate. When you're doing these screws up, remember you are doing them up into plastic. So don't go tightening them too much, we'll strip them out. Done up. Check the plugs. Starting to put all this back together, making sure that your rubbers on the sides line up with the holes. clips and tabs. There's a bit down the side I didn't want to clip in properly. Put these ones back in. If the screws don't feel like they're lined up properly, just back them off a little bit and then try again. Sometimes the threads don't line up, and backing off a little bit is all it takes to line them back up. These are also into plastic. Before putting the steering wheel back on, you need to take this bit off. This is so it doesn't rotate, because if it rotates too many times it will break. So that's out of the way. Wires through. Line up the spline. That's where it lines up straight. If I go one spline to the side, it's that far. So you will know if you haven't lined it up properly. Now the nut, threads didn't want to line up on that, so don't go forcing that. Tight enough. Plug the plugs back in. Okay, it's in. Now put this back down into there. Just like that. Now we're ready to install the airbag. Oh, it's in. Push the clip in. And the other one. And push the clip in. Now the earth. Put it back in place. And screws back in. Tighten them. Tight enough for them. Now to put the covers back on. Put it on there. Clip that front bit in first. And then clip the back bit in. Make sure it's sitting right. And for the other side, front bit in first. click the back bit in. And just like that. Now reconnect the battery. That should be tight enough. Now I'll start it and make sure that airbag light goes out. Now before, when the airbag light started coming on, if I parked somewhere with the steering wheel sitting like that, the airbag light would go out. But as soon as the steering wheel would go to this position as I was driving, the airbag light would come back on. So whether it be that way or that way, the airbag light would only start to come on when the steering wheel got to near straight. So that seems to have fixed that problem. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.